Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into the nuts and bolts of why ditching that built-in laptop trackpad and upgrading your pointing device could, literally, transform your entire workday. I mean, if you're still relying on your laptop straight out of the box, you are absolutely missing out on a massive, game-changing upgrade that's just hiding in plain sight.
So here's a thought for you. We all love laptops for the mobility, right? Working from a coffee shop, the couch, the kitchen table, it's great. But we really need to ask ourselves, is that built-in trackpad actually a giant bottleneck for our efficiency? And honestly, for our physical comfort too. Think about it for a second.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the trackpad problem, the productivity solution, how sensors and connectivity actually work, picking the perfect mouse, fixing common issues, and finally, your workspace ROI.
Section 1. The trackpad problem. Ergonomics in the modern workspace. We're starting with the physical toll of our modern default setup, drawing straight from a super interesting 23-person study by the Logi Ergo Lab. Just look at the sheer difference in posture here. On one hand, you've got this cramped, tight positioning where your hands are basically forced to hover right over the center of the laptop. It's tense. But then, look at the alternative, a totally natural, flexible posture when using an external mouse. You can practically feel the relaxation in the shoulder and arm. It's like night and day.
The big takeaway here, trackpads aren't just, slightly annoying when you're trying to highlight a tiny cell in a spreadsheet. They actively force us into these constrained postures, and that directly increases muscle strain. The Logi Ergo Lab study actually found that this lack of flexibility heavily contributes to serious discomfort in your neck, your shoulder, and your forearm over a long day. Not fun.
Section 2. The productivity solution. Hard data on hardware. Let's pivot from the problem and look at the incredible quantifiable benefits of actually making the switch to an external mouse.
Now, the sheer scale of this improvement is just staggering. Researchers didn't just ask people how they felt. They literally measured their throughput in bits per second. The result? People are a whopping 50% more productive using a mouse instead of a trackpad. 50%! That's huge!
On top of that, participants were 30% faster when performing basic point-and-click and drag-and-drop exercises. 30%! This proves something absolutely crucial. Comfort isn't just a luxury. It directly correlates with your speed and accuracy.
Moving into Section 3, Sensors and Connectivity Explained Under the Hood. Let's pop the hood and see the actual technology that makes these devices tick.
All right, before we buy anything, we gotta understand the specs. Think of DPI, or dots per inch, as your sensitivity dial. It dictates exactly how far your cursor flies across the screen for every physical inch you move the mouse on your desk. Polling rate, on the other hand, is basically how fast the mouse talks to your computer. It's repeatedly imaging the surface below it to perfectly translate your movement and prevent that super annoying cursor lag.
Now, when comparing sensors, you're usually looking at optical versus laser. Optical models use an LED light and are incredibly forgiving, meaning they work wonderfully even if your desk isn't perfectly flat. Laser sensors, though, they offer much higher DPI potential for extreme precision, but they can be a bit finicky. You'll generally need a smooth, opaque mouse pad to get the absolute most out of them.
When it comes to sending all that tracking data back to your computer, you've got a couple options. Bluetooth gives you roughly 30 feet of wireless range without eating up one of your precious USB ports. That's a lifesaver for ultra-portables. However, a 2.4 GHz RF USB dongle often provides a slightly more rock-solid link and actually, in many cases, gives you better battery life since it manages power way more efficiently than Bluetooth.
Section 4. Picking the Perfect Mouse. The PC Mag Buyer's Guide. Armed with that technical know-how, let's review some top-tier recommendations straight from the hardware experts over at PC Mag.
According to their rigorous testing, PC Mag's reigning champion for productivity is the Logitech MX Master 4. They absolutely love it for its ultra-fast scrolling and that incredibly robust 8000 DPI dark field sensor. It's an absolute powerhouse for daily work, letting you just fly through those seemingly endless documents and spreadsheets.
But hey, remember this. Comfort is totally subjective. What feels amazing for a larger hand might feel like a brick for a smaller one. So you might want to look at more compact, lightweight options, like the Logitech Signature M750, which is great for travel. Or, maybe check out an ergonomic vertical model if you need specific relief for your wrists.
Breaking down the top picks right now, it all really depends on what you need. You've got the premium, overall powerhouse with the 8000 DPI MX Master 4. Then there's the budget-friendly 4000 DPI optical M750. Or if you want the best of both worlds, the Razer Pro Click V2 boasts a blistering 30,000 dpi gaming-grade sensor that effortlessly doubles as a high-end productivity tool for your 9 to 5.
Section 5. Fixing common mouse issues, rapid tech support. Because, let's be real, what happens when your brand new productivity investment just randomly stops working in the middle of a massive project?
Well, according to the repair experts at Assyrion, there is absolutely no need to panic. Fixing an unresponsive mouse usually takes less than 30 minutes, tops. They rate the risk level here as very low, mainly because most failures are just simple connection drops, dead batteries, or a software driver hiccup. It's rarely actual hardware death.
So if your cursor freezes up, just follow these steps from the tech team at Pi International. First, if you're using a USB receiver, pull it out, wait 5 seconds, and plug it back in until you hear that satisfying Windows ding. If you're using Bluetooth, double-check that it's actually toggled on in your settings. It gets bumped off all the time. Finally, verify your battery power and check for driver updates before you go tossing the thing in the trash.
Section 6. Your workspace ROI. Small hardware, big returns. To wrap up this explainer, let's bring it all back to why this actually matters for you and your everyday routine.
Getting an external mouse isn't just about grabbing some flashy new tech accessory for your desk. As the data from the Logi Ergo Lab clearly showed, it is scientifically proven to turbocharge your health, your comfort, and your overall satisfaction while working. We're talking less neck pain and way faster output. Win-win, right?
Setting up a beautifully organized workspace centered around an external mouse is a really small, super smart hardware investment that yields a massive return on your daily output. It literally frees you from being hunched over the center of your laptop all day.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. Take a good look at your own setup today. Notice how your shoulders and wrists feel after an hour of working. Then ask yourself, is your trackpad secretly holding you back? Upgrading your mouse might just be the exact key you need to unlock your best, fastest, and most comfortable work. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and here's to taking back control of your productivity.